Hey, this is Kevin Barnes, and I'm the host of Reflection of Our Petals. It's the award ceremony, and I'm here with Kayla Adams. How you doing?
I'm doing great today. How are you?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. We have an outstanding program today, and Kayla is actually one of our inductees to our first award ceremony. And this is the book. It's a rose, it's still a rose, and she has a phenomenal chapter in here. And I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about that.
Yes, well, first of all, thank you all so much for the honor. I think that sharing the mother-daughter relationship is extremely important, so I was honored to be featured and involved in the book. My journey to motherhood was not an easy journey. My husband and I, thought we had all the time in the world. We were married for 9 years. We planned our pregnancy and thought that everything would go as planned. Ironically, 20 weeks into my pregnancy, it didn't go as planned. I ended up getting put on hospital bed rest, and at 23 and a half weeks, delivered a baby girl. At that time, she weighed 1 pound. She was 17 and a half weeks premature, and the odds are stacked against us at that point. I remember before having her, the doctor came into my hospital room, and she said, well, she's breached, so you can't have a natural delivery, and she's only 1 pound, so in order to give you a C-section, we'd have to sever your uterus, which would make you volatile for future pregnancies. And she said, so what would you like to do? And I said, so I can't have her naturally because she's breached, and I can't have a cesarean because she's too small. I said, how about we just wait and see what God says about this? So she said, okay, I'm going to go home. She left to go home, and my labor immediately progressed after she left. They ended up getting a doctor at the cafeteria. To this day, I don't even know what doctor birthed my baby because everything has my doctor's name on my medical records. But what I do know for sure is that she couldn't birth the miracle because she didn't believe in the miracle. So God had to remove her, and yes, my baby was breached, and yes, she was 1 pound, but I had her naturally. Today, she's 12 years old, and we are just blessed by that miracle. And so I just encourage other people to activate your faith.
Right.
That when it comes to the things that people tell you that you can't have, whether that's motherhood or anything else that you want in life, to really activate your faith and lean on God's word, because He has given us our miracle.
Right. I was reading your story, and so we were formatting the book, and I just sat there. It took me a long time to read it because I was kind of reading between the lines, and one thing was just, it wasn't fascinating, but I was just, because I thought I knew you. We grew up in Houston. I thought I knew you all,
Yes.
And when you had to be on the bed for that long and couldn't move, and some people don't really appreciate that. And I said, can't move for that long, or the child wouldn't make it. And I just sat there and looked at it. I said that was amazing to me, because sometimes sacrifices and to read in between it means that you had to go from a person that could do for themselves to somebody that's it's almost extreme hospice. They have to come in and tend to you. And you have to really have a mind shift to say, my God, this is really happening. I can't. Yesterday I was getting up going, and somebody has to come in and tend to me. Yeah, that amazing thing. So it was a private thing, and it's like, God, why did you let me fall to this level? And that's what it was for.
Yeah, the day before I was hospitalized, I was at work. I was managing a board of directors. I had a board meeting. I had meetings with potential clients. Like, I did everything just normal. Went into the doctor that next day only to be told I was in labor, dilated till 2. My bag was bulging, and I had to be put into the hospital for the duration of my pregnancy. I was 20 weeks pregnant, which means I was only halfway through my pregnancy. So then they wheeled me up to the hospital room. They wouldn't even let me stand up. She put me in a wheelchair, wheeled me up, and I was flat on my back for 3.5 weeks, literally, like you said, somebody, I remember asking for a shower and they came in with a wash bucket, and it's like, what? We'll just wait for my husband. You know?
I'm reduced to that level.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it is the sacrifice of a mother. We know that our sacrifices for our kids happen daily, and we gladly do that for their development.
Right.
And that really was me being a vessel to get her where she needed to be. And the day that I was literally being wheeled in my hospital bed to see my high-risk doctor, perinatologist. And that day that I had Brooklyn, I went to the perinatologist. She said everything was good. She said, you can have a shower today. She said, but you have to sit in the chair. I was so excited to have that shower.
Right.
I sat in the chair, finished my shower, took a nap, and woke up to my water breaking.
Well,
Yeah.
you all, hey, we got to go to the rest of our program, but I just want to give you a piece of her story. And she has another story that really triumphs that one. But we're gonna return to our show, and hope you all are watching it. We're gonna probably have it broadcast. But this is Kayla Adams' outstanding story.
So today I have my daughter Brooklyn. She's 12 years old. Brooklyn, stand up. She is an absolute miracle. They said she wouldn't be here. They said we only had a 30% chance of her surviving. They said she'd have all these disabilities. They basically wanted us to think that she would be a vegetable. But God, she's standing here with us today. And so I just encourage you guys, know the road hasn't been absolutely easy, but it's been easier with God. He's walked us through every single challenge of us believing in faith. And I just challenge you, like I said, to find it deep in. Believe God on his promises. My life has been an absolute testament of God's miracles. From the birth of Brooklyn to him putting my family back together that was destroyed. That's a whole other story. And all of those things that happen. But I know it's nothing but the blood of God that continues to cover me. It's nothing but walking hand in hand in him and believing in him. So I challenge you to activate that small mustard seed faith in your everyday life and absolutely believe the promises that God has promised you for your life. Thank you.